In this video, I am going to recommend my top 12 books. So over the years, I have read a lot of books and those helped me and completely changed my life at the age of 36. I used to work in a corporate for 12 plus year and I quit and I am rebuilding my beautiful life. I'm also a brand owner and content creator, and I also provide coaching to many women. But anyways, these books are definitely part of my journey. They help me to change my mindset, productivity, business, self-worth, all the different areas. And if you're starting out on the journey to change your life, then these books are definitely going to help you a lot. The first book that I am going to recommend is Think, Grow Rich. Now, this is a old school book. I believe it was published in 1937, but correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, this book holds a special place in my heart, and I'll tell you why. I know that there are so many books on becoming a rich dad, poor dad, all the other books. And why I love Think, Grow Rich, because it's really basic, but it's something that a lot of us may not know, meaning that I have certain belief system, and after reading this book, it has completely changed how I see the money, how I see the life, how I see the money. And for me, I would definitely recommend anyone, even if you are not planning to build a business, brand, whatever. I think in general, I wish this book should be a part of our curriculum in the school. Honestly, in the schools, the books that we read, I don't know about you, but for me, they are not helpful in our lives. But this is kind of the book. This is going to change your mindset. And only one thing I'm going to leave it with you about this book is the first chapter. It talks about the desire. And think of this way, and this is going to help you understand this. If you don't have desire in your life, then how are you going to change or get anything? If you don't even know that you wanted to buy a certain model of the car, then you're never going to buy it. So it's all starts with desire. And this book talks a lot about the subconscious mind. And I truly believe everything, whoever we are till this date, is based on what we believe about ourselves, and everything lies in subconscious mind. This is a very easy read. And honestly, I made tons and tons of notes from this book. I highly, highly recommend this book. Same on the mindset category, I have next recommendation, which is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. If you have watched her, any of her interviews or podcasts, she has such a fun personality, and I think this is reflection of her. This book, again, talks about your subconscious belief, how you yourself self-sabotage. You are meant to achieve great things in life. You are meant to have a greatness in your life, but how you stop yourself, how you are the one blocking a greatness in your life. So I really recommend this book because it's such an easy read, and this really helps to understand how we self-sabotage ourselves. And when I am talking about self-sabotage, I cannot enough recommend my next book, which is The Mountain Is You, which I'm currently actually reading on my Kindle. I love this book. I am currently reading, and that book helps me to understand a lot. And I thought that I know a lot about my limiting belief, subconscious mind, but it talks even deeper that how you self-sabotage yourself, how you come up with the excuses all throughout your life, the belief that you carry through your parents, through other people, through your surroundings, and how you implement and damage your life. And what I love about that book, The Mountain Is You, is that she talks about it. She talks about the fear that we have, and then she gives a solution. And then she talks about it. Why do we have it? And I love that. It's kind of like a practical approach in a book. I highly recommend The Mountain Is You. You cannot change your mindset by not building good habits. And this is where my next book, Atomic Habits, I actually took the cover off. I was using this as a decoration piece in my library. But anyways, I love this book. I think this really helped me to understand how habit forms and how I was able to build and stack my habit. And this is all about. This book talks about it, how you can stack multiple habits. So as soon as I finish my morning coffee, I know that I'm going to grab my journal and I'm going to do it. As soon as I wake up, I know that I'm going to grab my water and I'm going to sit down and do my meditation. It's all about stacking your habits and also building a system around it. If you know, this book talks about it, if you know that you are somebody loves to watch TV, so sometime even hiding a remote or just disconnecting Netflix. And then if you don't even have access to Netflix or if you don't have access to the internet, then how are you going to consume so much social media? So this is what it kind of gives you a practical tips, but also talks about it if you build a system around it, how you can build a healthy habit. What I have learned the most from this is building a habit and how do you do the habit stacking. The third most important thing, which a lot of people don't talk about this book a lot, that is how to build consistency. And this is what a lot of people ask. Consistency doesn't mean that I wake up 4:30 every single day. Doesn't mean that throughout the life, I wake up 4:30, 4:30, 4:30. Consistency means I'm waking up even if I fall back in my schedule. Like some days my son is sick. We didn't get the enough sleep in the nighttime. He was sick or throwing up or something happened. And now I cannot wake up 4:30 in the morning. But I know that I have those days in my life where if I don't wake up for one day, next day I'm going back to my routine. And this book teaches about it. If you miss one day, it's okay. If you miss 2 days, something, the new habit that you're building, which means you're forming a new habit. As soon as something happened, sometime I'm traveling or something is happening in my life where I'm not getting enough sleep or I'm not waking up on time, I know that only 2 days maximum I can miss. After 2 days, I'm building a new habit. So I highly recommend Atomic Habit. I know this is a bestseller for a reason. Absolutely everybody should read Atomic Habit. If you are somebody who struggled to find a purpose in your life and you lack what is my path, then I highly recommend The Greatness Mindset by Louise Howe. This is such a great book. It really talks about it. What is your bigger purpose in life? And he clarified really simply what is that the purpose looks like. And I'm going to read this, and this is going to help you understand what is this book all about. Is greatness is discovering your unique gifts and talent to pursue your meaningful mission and the make maximum impact on the people around you. This is really, really beautiful. And I'm going to read another one. Not having direction on purpose creates a vacuum in your soul, a vacuum that fears, sadness, and mental health challenges rush to fill. It is all about figuring out who you are and how you can make an authentic and unique contribution that makes the people around you better and the world a better place. I highly recommend this book if you struggle to find a purpose in your life. And this book comes with a very practical exercise that you can do. It talks about a lot of exercise that you need to do while you're reading the book. But the one take I have from this book is everything comes from your inner child. Everything is within your inner self. And this book pushed me to do my inner child healing. This book really, really helped me to understand who I am truly inside and what are my emotions, what are the things that coming up on the surface level that's rooted in my childhood. So I highly recommend this book. If you wanted to achieve a greatness in your life, if you are somebody who really wanted to understand what is that you're passionate about, what do you want to do in life, and this book will really help you to achieve your true meaning in life. All right, this is a very unusual recommendation. I am saying unusual because I have never seen, and not a lot of people, I have never seen that many people recommend this book, but this is the one book that has changed how I see the word. I definitely don't see the word same way. If you want to shake up all your entire belief system. If you really question a lot of things around you, then I highly recommend reading Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland. Now, Vadim Zeland talks a lot about in this book, and you can tell this is a heavy book. This book alone took me 4 months to read, but after reading this book, holy, this made so much difference in my life. I don't see the word the same way. I don't even know how can I share about this book, because it's like you are on the season 20 and somebody hasn't even started watching. So it's like, it's so hard to explain, but if you are looking to understand everything around you, how people behave the way they behave, or how system works around you, which Vadim talks about it is pendulum. Basically, how you should not attach yourself, the incidents, the issues that is happening around you, and how you need to just focus on yourself. And what is the most important in this book is, if you are again going back to the same idea of finding a true purpose, then this book gets even deep in finding your true purpose. And Vadim talks about it, that once your heart and mind combines, that is your true purpose. Once you're something that your heart knows you want it to become, and something that your mind also follows in any decision that you wanted to make. I certainly implement most of the things that Vadim said. I try to implement, and I highly recommend it. Of course, this is a serious read. And if you are starting out, you have never read a book, this is not going to be the first book that you are going to read. Why? Because this is a very deep. This will take you from 0 to 100, but I would highly recommend reading another mindset book and then going to this one, because if you're not used to reading book, this is a lot. It took me, like I said, 4 months, so you're probably not even going to stick to it. But if you are serious to make a change in your life, this is the one book, if you read, it's going to shake your world. Now, I have this book, and this is Worthy by Kern Lima. I love this book. I truly love this book, because this book is rooted in your self-worth. This book talks about it, how we have great ideas. We all have great ideas, but why we don't believe and we don't stick with our idea. Throughout the book, she shares her story. And if you don't know who Kern Lima is, Jamie is a founder of It Cosmetics, and now she sold her company to L'Oreal for $1 billion. Love Kern Lima, and I really love this book. This book I recommend to all the females, like anyone in general, but especially to women, because we definitely suffer with self-worth. If somebody says, let's say if you're in a meeting and somebody bashes your idea, saying like it doesn't make sense and you are nothing, and and how quickly we take that feedback and implement in our life, thinking that, oh my God, my worth is nothing. Am I ever going to share my idea in the meetings? But this book goes deep. How Jamie had this idea about building this It Cosmetics, how she was getting rejection throughout her year. And honestly, if you are planning to build a business, then this book's even crucial. For me, this book is great because I read it when I was planning to build my brand, and this really helped me to understand, even if your idea is something that people have never read, but this doesn't mean that you don't have a great idea. And towards the end, she has this beautiful affirmation, whatever you want to say it, and I'm going to share it here so it helps you to understand this. You are not crazy. You are the first. Who do you think you are, they say. The things like that aren't for people like us. Why are you going around changing, planning to leave us in the dust? Are you forgetting where you come from? Are we not good enough anymore? And just like that, the temptation to play life small feels more comfortable than before. If you are doubting you are enough, your thoughts, their words have got you down. It's a time for your soul to tell your mind, there is a new boss in town. I love this. honestly, every time I remind myself, if I meet with somebody and they are not at my mental level, and if they don't believe in the idea, although I don't care who believe in my idea or not, I just care about me believing in my idea. But building a brand that not a lot of people have seen it before. So this book really helps to understand. And even if you're not building a brand, let's say if you have a desire to change your life, if you are in a miserable situation right now and you tell your friends that one day you are going to change everything around and people are like challenging you, read this book. This is going to be your Bible. Now, this is bestseller for a reason. Talking about money, I have only one book recommendation right now, which is Psychology of Money. I know at this point, everybody recommend this book because for a reason, it is a really great read. For me personally, I enjoyed the part about Psychology of Money to helps to understand how rich people actually work and how rich people behaves. And this separates the idea how middle class are always chasing the dream to feel like rich, to follow this trend of like, if I purchase this brand, if I purchase this car, even though if I put this on a mortgage, even though I cannot afford the payment, but if I buy this car, that will make me look rich. That is a very middle class mentality, and how rich people move money, how rich people talk about it. The successful rich people don't see money that way. They don't need to prove their worth. All they talk about it, how you can utilize their money, how they invest their money, and how they see money in a long wealth game. To be honest, before even reading this book, I have a similar mentality. So it wasn't a very shocking, but definitely reassuring for me. But if you, and especially coming from a background where money is not something that we talk a lot in our household, or if we talk about money, it's always scarcity. It's always like, don't spend too much, we don't have enough, or it's all about money, like scarcity. So if you are coming from that environment, and like it was definitely my case, so for me to understand Psychology of Money helped me a lot to understand how money actually works. And I don't see money as a scarcity anymore. I see money as a tool to help me build this brand, to help me transform many women's life. And how am I using the money now as a tool, but not to make me look rich, not as a medium to buy luxury things. To be honest, luxury doesn't mean anything to me. It's not like I am obsessed over it. I would rather invest what this book talks about it and have a long-term wealth rather than looking in a short years how the money works. But anyways, I highly recommend reading Psychology of Money. And this is actually the only book that I have when it comes to money category. The next category, it's my favorite, and we are talking about productivity. I read, and I am going to recommend Ali Abdaal's Feel Good Productivity. This is a really great book. But honestly, I was kind of disappointing in the beginning because I thought that he's going to give me the system. He's going to tell me all the apps that he uses. He's going to give me all the trips and ticks he has. But honestly, this book is not about that. This book talk about how to make things fun, whatever that you want to do, so it doesn't feel like a work, which I totally love. I love his understanding about productivity. Of course, if you know Ali Abdaal is a productivity expert, and how he explained productivity is if you make anything fun, and I totally implemented. For example, if you have to clean the house, or if you have to do cooking, something that you don't enjoy, but if you watch your favorite show, or if you listen to music, you're going to enjoy it. It's tedious task, but how you enjoy it. For example, like days when I have to do my admin work, my emails and things like that. And I just make it fun by playing some music and watching my podcast show so I can watch and I can do my other things that are not so productive. So definitely change the idea of productivity. How I used to think productivity is. It's a very easy read. I love it. It helps you to understand how productivity works. So highly recommend it. Love Ali Abdaal. Next book. This is 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss. This book is transformed how, again, I see productivity. So this book talks about it. I have not reached, before I say anything, I have not reached the 4-hour work week yet, to be honest. I am still working 12 hours in a day. I'm not going to lie. I still work a lot. And I think it's to do with because I have my, like I said, I have my YouTube and my main is my brand, Inkara. And then I'm also working on the coaching. So it's like so many things that I have. So I do not have achieved the 4-hour work week, which he talks about it. But if you are working in a corporate work right now, if you are in your 9 to 5, if you are anywhere working, this book helps you to understand how you do not have to work 24/7, which I am actually planning to read again so I can implement again some principle what he talks about it in the work-life balance. So basically his idea is outsource as much as you can so you don't have to do the tedious task. And after reading this book, I hired my first person, and that was my editor, and I love it. Like, editing is something that I don't enjoy, and it is something a part of my business. So that was the first time I hired my editor, and this book really helped me to understand how outsourcing is the way to go rather than doing everything. Now in my team, I hire every single specialist I get to do the work that I need to do. For example, I have somebody who is working on my website. I have 2 editors that I currently work with all the time. This really helps me to focus on the things that I want to do on my business that really going to move the needle. But imagine how I will be able to do all of these things if I will be doing everything. And by hiring editors and whoever you wanted to hire, you are also collaborating with the people they have expertise in. I am not the expert in editing, but the person who is doing it, they are experts. So definitely read 4-Hour Work Week. Even if you are working in your 9 to 5, it will help you that you don't have to grind all the time. And honestly, by working 10, 12 hours, I'm telling you from my own experience, some days I am just at my top level, but I know the reason that I'm working so hard also because I am launching my website, I am expanding my business beyond US. So it's just a lot right now, but definitely 4-Hour Work Week is what I aim for. Talking about the business, on business, I have one book, which is Lean Startup. I am currently reading, and yes, I do read 2 books at the same time, only because I'm in the midst of launching, like I said, my business expanding beyond US. We're also launching in Canada. So I am currently loving this Lean Startup by Ries. And what it is that we all get into this idea when we have a business plan, we all just get into, oh my God, let's get the logo design going. Let's get the business card going. Let's create the beautiful aesthetic Instagram page. But we forget that the product that you have, you wanted to test it out. So basically, you want to test out quickly, you want to fail or iterate, and then relaunch it. This is exactly how I implemented, and definitely have helped me a lot. So I definitely recommend Lean Startup. There are some stages in this book, though, that I have not reached that level yet. So for me, it's like something that I will go back to. So I have paused reading this book at the point where, okay, I have learned something that I wanted to learn. Now I'm going to pause and I'm going to come back. But if you are launching a business, any idea that you have, you want to work on, highly recommend reading the Lean Startup. I love how this book talks about it to test your product first, so you are not end up with a huge inventory or whatever that is that you wanted to do. What if people are not there to purchase it? What if people don't even need that product? So highly recommend Lean Startup. The last book that I am going to recommend is 48 Laws of Power. If you deal with human, if you interact with people, which we all do, then I highly recommend reading 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. This has transformed how I see every relationship around me. After reading this book, it shows me every single problem I had with my friends and how I used to think about people. It just talks a lot about it. And if you are thinking that, oh, you don't need to read this book because you know what? I am not going to read this book. I am just going to rely on my honesty and I am just going to be straightforward, which is amazing. But you have no idea how people around you all the time using these powers. Unknowingly, knowingly, I don't know, but everybody at certain point uses these. So this gives you kind of an edge. If you read this book, it helps you to understand how human actually work. It's kind of like a human psychology. So if you love human psychology, then you are going to love this book. But for me, I love this book. I highly recommend to everybody. I recommend it to all my friends. Highly recommend this book. And if you are starting out and if you struggle with communication, if you don't know how to deal with people, and if you just get frustrated living with people or just talking to people, then highly recommend reading this book. All right, that's the end of this video, but I want to hear from you. Which book intrigued you the most? You have to let me know. And what is your favorite book? Because I am honestly, this is a two-way learning process. I would love to hear from you. What is the book that you are currently reading? And if you are not reading, what will be the first book that you are going to recommend, you are going to read after watching this video? Please do share this video with anyone who is trying to change their life and they wanted to read more books, because I truly believe that books is the one way that you can completely change your mindset. And it's an ongoing process. Reading books for me, it's an addiction. I love reading books and I also recommending them to all my friends and family. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video, and don't forget to subscribe because it truly, truly helps my channel. And this is my sole mission, to empower every single person to live their life fully. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next one. Bye.